The situation continues to look worse for Raheem Mostert. What is up, guys? Coffee Break is back with another video, and the more I read about this Mostert situation, the more I think it continues to look bad for him. As we all know, George Kittle is in talks about a contract extension, and nobody knows how that is going. Only Kittle and the 49ers know where they stand, at this point. But Kittle was recently asked about the possibility of a holdout, and his response was, "Being a captain, I want to be there for my team, and I need to show the right leadership skills." End quote. I mean, how worse can Mostert look at this point? The crazy thing in all of this, and I think I touched on this in my previous video, but the 49ers extending Mostert when nobody wanted him was essentially the 49ers giving him a raise. They invested in Mostert stock before anybody knew about him. You have to remember, Mostert was coming off an injury. He broke his arm in that game against the Raiders when Nick Mullins had his first start. I mean, did the 49ers know what Mostert was going to become? Maybe, but they took all the risk. They paid him, they extended him, gave him a raise, and now here we are. Mostert is asking for another raise in a span of 2 years. Not even 2 years. I think it's been like a year. When you invest and that stock skyrockets to a huge amount, you took all the risk, you invested and put your money up, and you reap all the benefits that come with it. And it's the same here. I mean, I see it no different. The 49ers paid Mostert, and he ended up playing fantastic. Nobody is saying he wasn't good last year. I mean, he did help the team a lot. If it wasn't for him and his run game, I mean, those playoff games would have been by far more competitive. But then you're asking for a raise when your team captain hasn't gotten one yet. But the funny part is the 49ers already gave you a raise. Like, the Niners have no reason to budge to this request. I get that we're only talking about less than $2 million for this year. He wants to get paid similar to Coleman. He thinks he deserves that much. And I'm with you. You do, looking at it from this point of view now. But you have to remember, you did not have that leverage a year prior, and they still gave you some money to be with the Niners. They appreciated your value. They were willing to buy stock early, and this is kind of what we're getting. And I'm a believer that yes, you deserve some money. You do. But right now is not the time. Not when your star player hasn't gotten his cut yet. And to me, it's just as simple as that. Why not wait before the season starts? Maybe when players start getting cut, Niners have more cap space. That makes much more sense than to do it at this point. There's so much uncertainty right now. Why not wait until George Kittle gets paid? Right now, everything's a blur because they're only focusing on paying their star player. Like I said, if Kittle's deal was finished and there was maybe enough cap space to squeeze in a bonus for Mostert, then I really think the Niners would do it. But they're not going to give someone money when, one, they recently just did, and two, their best player still needs to get paid. I always go back to that. I think that is the reason why there hasn't been any movement on the contract talks. You have to look at it from the Niners perspective. I get Mostert, I get their camp and what they're trying to get done, but the way they went about it, I think, is the wrong way. You're showing up not only the team, the organization, it just leaves a bad taste in everyone's mouth. Ultimately, I don't think the Niners honor the trade. If they do, it's going to be for something crazy. Like if Mostert does get traded, I mean, I'm hearing talks about Jamal Adams again being thrown out there. The Niners, there's been reports the Niners have called in about Jamal Adams. Maybe this sheds a little bit more light into that situation. It'll be interesting, but I mean, I love Mostert as a player. I think he's a great guy, but the way he's going about this is completely wrong. and that's just how I feel. But I know everyone was kind of caught off guard with this news. I know a lot of you had things to say about the situation in my last video, so thank you for that. Hopefully this is just a bump in the road for the Niners. It's always kind of a roller coaster ride when it comes to 49ers off season, and this one's a bit unique because we're coming off a Super Bowl run. Niners are obviously trying to get back to that status, and right now it's a little bit rocky with all of these contract talks and trades that may or may not be happening. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and as always, we'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.